welcome to another episode of just real mum chats, I guess. You can call it that, where I share my perspective on motherhood that is a bit more real and less romanticized for the online world. And today I just want to talk about the fact that I am not really a good mum in terms of society expectations of in 2025, I guess. And the reason I say that is because I feel even though we are advancing with times and realizing that motherhood is a lot of a heavier role than it's perpetuated, so it's really tough being a mum in today's world because there's so much that we are currently learning about children and trauma, and especially if you're a millennial mom, we just have gone through so much on our lives that we are now trying to avoid that happening to our kids. So there's like this society expectation of being a mother, which involves doing so much for your family that is not really physically or emotionally possible to do in today's world, because there's so much. It's so much to be left on top of just one person. And we are now seeing some changes where, like dads are a lot more involved than back in the day, which is awesome. But financially and all of the other aspects of life, it's just not possible for you to, not for everyone actually, it's not possible for everyone to just be a stay-at-home mom. For instance, you probably have to work on the side, and your husband doesn't, has to work a lot of hours, and you just end up being left alone with your kid with the rest of the responsibilities, which is also comes to doing laundry and cleaning the house and everything else that comes with it. And I think it's a bit ridiculous, to be honest with you. It's thunder. As a mum, I kind of failed on this role, or I feel like I failed in this role, and the reason for that is because of all of the expectations and the identity loss that you get from motherhood. And it's something that I feel like even if you prepare for it, it still happens, and it still is shocking because you almost stop mattering, and everything, well, all that matters is that kid that you had, and everybody else focuses on that kid, and you have 9 months of full attention on you, and then when the baby comes, that's all gone. And I think people are starting to changing this narrative, but it still is very much a narrative there where mums are just in the back end of family and do everything and never getting praised or never even being understood of the mental load that is and comes with motherhood. And I'm not saying this as you choose to have your kids, or you should accept the consequences, because this is something that always ends up being said. And it's not the fact that we chose to have a kid that we don't accept the consequences. It's not that at all. It's just there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. And I am privileged and lucky enough that I have my husband. Even though he works 9 to 5, he will still come off work and still look after my kid and still make dinners and still look after the house and do laundry and do all of these aspects and helps me booking doctor's appointments and everything. He will do it. So I kind of am very lucky on that front. But I know so many other mums that do not have this access to their husband, all like so. Not that it's being helpful, because I'm 100% sure that you probably chose a partner that wants to be helpful and be there, but obviously it might not be possible because he has to work a lot more hours so that you are able to be a stay-at-home mom, or on top of that you both are working 9 to 5, your kid has to go to a babysitter, which again, or a school, and then you still have all of the housework on top of it, and it's a lot of pressure for parents. It comes a lot with a job. And for me personally, I thought that when you get to a motherhood level, you just unlock this responsibility and eagerness to clean. But I think that's because, that's what my mum, sort of the example I had at home. So my mum, but I think that was just because my mum is slightly obsessed with cleaning. And I just thought it was something that came with the role, but it's not. And I think it's a bit ridiculous that we expect every mum to also be the same. So like, you know, to be a good mum, you have to have a tidy home. You have to have clean clothes. You have to have healthy meals. You have to have all your child be a respectful human and a respectful adult eventually. And you have to respect their boundaries, and you have to respect it. There's so much to this role that then like it's just a one-way street, and this is impossible, especially because we are now in this online world where we see people doing things differently and we compare our lives and lifestyles, and we forget that we all have different backgrounds. No matter where we come from, we have different backgrounds, we have different beliefs, different systems, different privileges, different realities, different villages, and it's not all gonna look the same. So to be a good mother in today's society, I do not fit in that role. And for the first few years of my child's life, I felt like I was not motherhood type. I was not a mother. I was just didn't fit any of the roles, any of the, the specifics of motherhood. I didn't fit in, and that was tough. I felt alone. I felt desperate. I didn't have postpartum depression, but I did feel really alone, and I couldn't express this feeling to anyone. I felt like I couldn't speak because every time I would open my mouth, people would just take it as a competition, I guess, and it would be like, oh, you're tired now, or you're lonely now, wait until they're this age, oh, wait until they're this age. And it's like, I'm not trying to compete with you. I'm just trying to understand if you felt the same way as me, because right now, this sucks. It sucks balls. So I kind of took on this I'm not a good mom role, but it's only in the societal terms of being a good mom. I am a mom, and I'm not perfect, but I'm a good mom for my kid. I'm not a good mom in society's terms, but for my kid, I am the greatest mom he will ever have. Hopefully, only the only one he will ever have. I know. Regardless. Because I am here for him. I am trying my best, and I am, besides, I'm trying to be better every single day. I'm not perfect, as I've said, and things can go wrong, and I get overstimulated, and I get angry sometimes, but I do apologize, and I try to amend things, and I try to fix things, which is something I never had growing up, and many of us, especially millennials, had grown up. And hence we have so many traumas and things that we always assume that when we have our children, that wouldn't happen to us, or we wouldn't do it to our kids. But we are doing it because it's like the reflection of what we always learned. And that's also another difficult part to play, because you have to just juggle around with these emotions that you have of, damn, I'm just like my mom and I didn't want this. And then the learning to apologize was a really hard phase for me as well, because you're stuck in that sense of, I'm a mother or I'm a mum and I should be apologizing type thing. But you should. Just because you're an adult doesn't mean you don't fuck up, and that's what makes you and your child and everyone around you understand that this is all our first time on earth, right? We're all making mistakes because we're still all learning how to live. And just because I'm a 31-year-old mom doesn't mean I know everything, because I don't. Every single day I learn something new, and every single day I probably am apologizing for something that I mess up and I realize that is wrong. So no, to conclude, I'm not a good mom. I'm a trying mom. I'm a mom that tries, and I'm trying really hard every single day to be better than I was the day before. And the only competition I have is myself. Any other mom in this planet, I am with you. I support them. I don't really need to understand other people's reasonings to how they raise their kids. I obviously don't take this as in like, oh, I just accept abusing kids, or I do not accept abusing of any kind, adults, children, to anyone. Being rude and being a bully no, I do not accept that. But I do accept that we all have different ways of raising our children, and that doesn't mean that they're wrong. It just means they're different. And I accept that. So I'll always be able to have a conversation with a different mom that she's explaining to me how she raises her kids and how she does things. And firstly, and I will be honest, potentially just my mind just goes to, oh wait, you shouldn't do this, but then I will eventually just let go of that thought, because it's like, no, who am I to think that this is what this person is doing is not right? You know, like I don't know their life. I don't know how, like, she spends 24/7 with this kid. I don't. So just because I've been 5 minutes with them doesn't mean I know and understand what it's that like. Okay, maybe I have some similar experiences, but that is it. Nothing is the same. But I think it's important for us to share our own stories, and it's important to share our own experience, just because it's a way of us accepting each other, and it's a way of learning that being different is not bad. It's actually okay, and it's normal, because we are all different. We are not the same. And to think that we are all the same with biologically or whatever and being raised, it's just a little bit ignorant, because it's not true. We live in different countries, we live in different places around the world, and we have different belief systems. So why would we raise our children all the same? So here's the fight into the motherhood narrative that it's just one way or the highway, because just fuck that. It's not realistic. Anyway, just my 2 thoughts and my 2 cents. What? I don't even know what I'm saying. Regardless, I hope if you're here and you made it this far, please don't forget to like, comment below your thoughts, and subscribe for you to get more of these real chat videos. I try to upload 1 a week because I just really enjoy using you guys as my little therapy sessions, because it makes me rationalize about my thoughts as well, and helps me understand more about this journey that I'm in. And I hope that it allows someone to feel less alone in this world, because I find the motherhood journey is very lonely, and when you can't fit in the society terms of motherhood, it can feel really sad and depressing, but no, you're not alone. So anyway, here's to being the best moms we can be for our families, and not comparing ourselves online. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.